important. Then we have Haldane. Due to speak about the economic impact of coronavirus and the long-term implications for the UK. So we all know that, so nothing new. We can forget. Then we have Meister, so a lot of talk, due to speak at the virtual FinTech conference hosted by the Federal Reserve Bank of, no, let's forget. Then we have the yen current account, major higher time frames.
Yep.
Then we have to monitor the Chinese CPI year over year and the yen 30-year bond auction.
Okay, I'll scroll down.
Yeah. Then on Tuesday, we will have, let's see, we will have the Euro's view economic sentiment and the German's view economic sentiment, both major.
Ah, so not going for these ones?
No, they are less important in UK.
And
so
not the Chinese?
No.
Okay.
So the two ZU
sure, got them.
are both major.
Sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
Brainard.
Then we have Brainard speaking. Due to speak about the Community Reinvestment Act at the online event of the National Congress of American Indians. No, let's forget. Then we have Kaplan speaking. Webinar hosted by the Council of Foreign Relations, so let's forget. Then we have the 10-year bond auction to monitor. Then we have Quarles speaking, testify on the oversight of the Securities and Exchange Commission before the Senate Banking Committee. On the oversight of the Securities and Exchange Commission. No, let's forget. Then we will have a big one in red with the Kiwi, the official cash rate, monetary policy statement, rate statement, and press conference. So all major plus higher time frames. And so, yeah, major plus higher time frames. Yeah, and in red.
Yep. So not for the M2?
No.
Okay. Keep trying.
And that's it for Tuesday.
Okay, scrolling.
For Wednesday. Wednesday, so it's a bank holiday in France, in Canada, in USA. I think it's the Veteran Day in USA, and yeah, I think so.
Yep.
Yeah, observance of Veterans Day. Yeah, indeed, and similarly in Canada and in France also, the Armistice Day. So otherwise, we have, let's see. Monitor the Euro-German 30-year bond auction, monitor the pound GDP estimate. Yeah.
Ah, euro. Okay, got that.
Yeah. Then the pound GDP estimates. Then monitor the Aussie MI inflation expectations. And that's it.
Okay, I'll just stretch my spreadsheet out. Okay, and
for Thursday, yeah. For Thursday, we will have the pound preliminary GDP quarter over quarter major higher time frames. Then we'll have the GDP month over month major higher time frames.
Yep.
Then I will monitor the ECB economic bulletin.
Okay.
Then we have the US dollar CPI and core CPI month over month major higher time frames.
Yep.
Then I will still monitor the US dollar unemployment claims.
Yep.
Monitor the crude oil inventories. Then we have again a lot of people talking, Lagarde, Bailey, and Powell. So Lagarde, due to participate in a panel discussion, let's forget. Bailey, panel discussion, let's forget. It's the same. And Powell, probably the same. Yeah, let's forget. And then monitor the US dollar 30-year bond auction.
Yep.
Then we have Wilking speaking.
Oh.
Due to speak about post-COVID life at an online event hosted by the Monk School of Global Affairs. Oh, let's forget.
But it's the Monk School,
Yeah, does that exist? Then we have, I will monitor the US dollar federal budget balance.
Okay.
And that's it for Thursday.
Okay, so Friday's up.
And on Friday, let's see, we have Weidmann speaking. Due to speak at the Bundesbank license online event. No, let's forget. General lecture. Then we'll have the Euro flash GDP quarter-over-quarter major higher time frame.
I was just thinking the way you said that, it sounded like an insult.
No.
General lecture. So, okay, monitor.
So the flash GDP, major higher time frame, and the trade balance, of course.
Really, major H. Okay.
Yeah. And then we have 10 railroad speaking from the Bank of England. Due to deliver a speech titled Dollar Dominance and the Impact of Monetary Policy. No, let's forget. And then we will have the US dollar preliminary University of Michigan consumer sentiment and inflation expectations, so major. Both major. And monitor the natural gas storage. And then we have Bailey speaking to close the week, due to speak at the UBS online conference. So let's forget.
Okay. Cool. So the reason for the NewsWatch, again, is to help you avoid sudden movements in the market. And these can occur when the news comes out. So we're just marking the items on from Forex Factory that apply particularly to the foreign exchange markets. And there's a lot of news comes out. Some of it's marked red, like this one, which we ignore. Others are marked yellow, which we, like flash GDP, which we've marked as a major in H4. So our rating is not necessarily the same as Forex Factory, and there's more in Forex Factory and indeed other news web pages if you wanted to watch them. But these are the really important ones. So what happens is when you see these marked with major H4, then don't place any orders 1 hour prior to the news coming out. Get out of them within half an hour. And this is to avoid any massive, if there's a surprise in the news that comes out, if it's not what was expected, then the currency can fluctuate and it can impact on your account. For the higher time frame traders, people trading H4 and above, ignore the major. So it's anything with an H4 in it is the ones to watch out for. For the smaller time frames, anything that's marked major are important to you. So you have a lot more things to be aware of here. And these items here that are marked in red with an exclamation mark in front are ones that these are really important. They could cause a really nice movement in the markets. So it's worthwhile waiting around for them to appear before, if you haven't got any sort of, if you want to get some good movements, they're ones to watch for. That's why they're marked major. Same things applies about entries and exits, but there's possibly a good opportunity with those ones. Okay. Other ones that are marked monitor are ones to be aware of. So like the French holiday, you have to be aware of something like that. There could be less happening in the euro, could be a bit flatter perhaps. Likewise with the CAD and the US going closing shop for that day. Could be a lot of liquidity in the market, and things like the 30-year bond auction we put in there for the bond traders so that they can monitor to see what's coming up with those. Hey Bruce, and what else? I think that's about it. Okay, so the other piece that we do with this, so that kind of helps you avoid any major upsets, is this. I'll pull this across. People say, what's the best pairs to trade? And so on the website, we also include a list of them. Out of the 28 major pairs, these are the pairs that have moved the most dollar-wise over the past 4 weeks. So here's the list. I'll put them up. Here's a few others. Do you want to keep it at this, down at that?
Until the US dollar cap? No, that's perfect.
Okay. So we've got the main ones that you can be aware of. I mean, you can trade whatever you like, but something like the Euro Swiss, which only moves 32 pips on average in a day, is not going to generate as much money as something like the pound dollar, which moves, in this case, about 4 times more. So pick the low-hanging fruit. These ones here are the best movers. What a crazy lot of fonts. It's really strange. Excuse me. But with Brexit and with the presidential elections and all the court stuff that's likely to be coming up, it could be they could be jumping around a lot. The pound's been quite vicious in some of its movements. Some spikes at 40 pips just because somebody's tweeted out, hey, looks like we're going to have a deal soon, and then they tweet back, no, we're not, and then they tweet back, they are, and it's just a nightmare. So if you're finding that you're getting chopped around too much by the pound, but you want some extras to trade, then we've included these ones. They don't move quite as much, but it's my father. Sorry, Eusebio, can you take over? I'll just get rid of Dad in case it's an emergency.
Okay, no problem, Chris. And so yes, so the pair which has proposed, like the Euro Yen, the Aussie US dollar, the Euro CAD, the Aussie Yen, the US dollar CAD, so have smaller ranges, either in pips or in dollars, so they don't generate as much result as the most moving pairs, but very often they have more regular movement. And so if you want to, or if you prefer to trade more regular pairs which are generally less choppy, so you can have a look to these pairs, and so you will get not big trade, but you will still have some nice trade with these pairs. So and they will be easier usually to trade because the movements are more regular, less choppy.
Thanks, Eusebio. Yeah, it was my father. He's sort of in his 90s, so if he's ringing, there's a reason. There was no reason, but yeah. Okay, so I'll put these up on the website as well, so that you've got regular ones to trade and some extra ones that you can look at if you want something less stressful. And what we're going to do now is Eusebio is going to do it, is take the pairs for each day from the top 10 and match them up with the news for that particular day. So rather than watching 10 pairs all the time, it whittles it down to, say, 3 or 4 major ones, and maybe a couple of others if those ones aren't even moving. And then if you really need to, you can swap down to the less stressful ones down here. Not as much money, but maybe easier to trade initially if you're just starting out. So what we do is we pick all the ones for a day from 5 p.m. the previous day to 5 p.m. that day, which is the general business hours. So on Sunday there was nothing, and on Monday we have nothing up to 5
Okay,
p.m.
So the choice will be very easy. The first pair will be the pound US dollar and the pound CAD.
Okay.
Or pound US or pound. Then the pound Kiwi or pound Aussie.
I want that. Okay.
And then, so the pound Kiwi or pound Aussie, and then the pound Yen or pound Swiss. So we have the same choice as last week.
And that was the same as the previous 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Getting suspicious, Eusebio?
No.
Okay. Right. So for Tuesday, we had leftovers from Monday, which is the yen.
The yen, so yen, okay.
And on Tuesday, we have the euro.
The euro, okay.
And then nothing else on Tuesday.
Okay, so we will have, interesting, the pound yen or euro pound. Pound yen or euro pound.
Just trying to save some. Okay, it's not working.
Pound yen or euro pound.
That's a Okay.
And then we will have the Euro Kiwi or Euro Aussie.
Yep.
And then we will have the pound US dollar or Euro US dollar.
Okay.
Pound US dollar or Euro US dollar.
Okay. Nope, didn't work. Try it again. Okay. And
Okay.
on leftovers from Tuesday, we have the Kiwi.
The Kiwi, okay.
And on Wednesday, we've got nothing.
Okay, so the first pair will be the pound Kiwi or pound Aussie.
Yep.
Then the Euro Kiwi or the Euro Aussie.
Okay.
And then the pound US dollar or the pound CAD.
Okay. So leftovers from Wednesday is nothing. And on Thursday, we've got the pound.
The pound, so pound, and pound, yeah.
And the US.
And the US dollar, so US dollar here and here, okay.
And that's it.
Okay, so the first choice will be the pound US dollar or the pound CAD.
Okay. Yep.
Then the pound Kiwi or pound Aussie.
Yep.
And then the pound yen or pound Swiss.
Okay, just did that one somewhere. Ah, here.
Pound yen or pound Swiss.
Okay, and leftovers from Thursday going into Friday is nothing on Thursday.
Okay.
And on Friday, we've got the euro.
The euro, okay.
And the US.
And the US, so US here and here. Okay, so the first choice will be the pound US dollar or the euro US dollar.
Yep.
Then we will have the Euro Kiwi or Euro Aussie.
Okay.
And then we will have the Euro Pound or Pound CAD. Euro Pound or Pound CAD.
Okay, so just once more into the breach. Come on. Control B. Yeah, okay. So the main ones each day to go for. This is so that you don't blow your brains out trying to look through all 28 pairs, because the whole idea is to be consistent. So just pick one or two pairs to actually monitor and then trade if they do actually do anything. A lot of people, if you watch in some live sessions, like with ours and with others, people will say, "Oh, the pound's taken off," or the da-da-da, and everybody sort of runs off to watch those. And many times the pairs that you've been watching sort of sit there for a bit and then perhaps they take off. But because people are sort of running around, their focus loses, they make poor entries rather than being consistent and concentrating on the one thing. So here we've got at the top, these are the pairs to sort of concentrate on the most. So pick the ones that you like out of those. I generally go for, these days it's the pound Aussie and sometimes the pound dollar. And then if these aren't working out very well, they're going flat or going sideways, then you can drop down to this lot down here. So you don't have to trade everything all at once, and it pays not to, because it's better to be good at one thing than half by okay at a whole bunch of things that just don't work out for you. Okay, so if you've got any questions or if you've seen any mistakes that we've made, let us know, because they do creep in and it really helps. We can just tidy them up straight away. So thank you. And one other thing is, if you're doing this yourself, Mataf used to be able to give us the average dollar daily range, but now we're using a spreadsheet to calculate this range. Once I've sorted it out nicely, and it looks better than it does now, I'll hand it out to the group so that you can work out your own average daily dollar range yourselves from the MATF daily pip range. Okay, so nothing else.
Yeah, and I don't understand why MATF has decided to no longer give the dollar range. So
yeah,
that's
it
really
is a bit
strange.
Well, also they've got this thing, and I don't know. Yeah, they used to have the average dollar daily range here, but still haven't figured out what this percent stands for. They don't explain what it's all about up here. It's not a, anyway. But they're cleaning up their site. There also seems to be, I don't know if you've seen it, Eusebio, but Peter he rips through things really well. Seems to have found this thing, currency index.
Oh yeah, this exists for a long time, but I don't like that one. Okay. I don't like that one, that currency index.
Okay, so this is, it depends on each person, yeah. Do I want a global? Yes. So this is more like a currency meter. It's not very well explained either, but this is each pair going against everything else. So I was just pointing it out in case you hadn't seen it. But it does seem to match up with the currency meters that we use, the current complex.
Yeah, in fact, a currency index is simply comparing the relative currency against a basket of other currencies.
Yeah, sorry. It took, like on this page, if you look down here, it's got no explanation of what these are compared against until you go full screen. Until you go take off full screen, until you go global, until you untick global. How do I go untick global? Anyway, if you get back down to the currency index, let's see if I can get into it this way again. Take off, here we go. We're on full screen. Sorry, we're not on full screen at the moment, but when you get into just plain old currency index, first time you come through it, it says it's the evolution of the currency relative to the entire forex, but it doesn't say what pairs they're including or anything like that. Okay, just pointing it out. Don't want to go any further, and I'll give you the link if you want to have a look at it yourselves. But it's a bit clumsy at the moment. The other thing to do is with the pair bias advantage. If you haven't caught up with things, Eusebio is back doing the manual pair bias advantage under the short-term pair bias. Sorry, I've cleaned it off since last week. But it's slightly different now because we've got an auto-generated sheet running in the background. So sorry about everybody that's using the alert system, but if we go live here, turns it live and it says Eusebio is present. And then if Eusebio closes down for the day and goes back to closed, it will say use the auto-generated sheet. And that's this one down here. And at the moment, it's just calculating the bias every 15 minutes. But having a historical map of what things have been like in the past would be really helpful. And again, Peter from Australia has been really helpful with this. And soon we will have a list of how the thing has performed over the last few hours. Let me know how long you really want it to work for, but it will look like this. So this is a bit squished in here. And where is it? Here we go. So this, for the past few, sorry, it's this is only for testing purposes, but the Aussie dollar and the US CAD, top two. So the Aussie dollar has been really strong for the last few minutes, and the US CAD has been kind of weak for the last few minutes, or a week short. But it was quite strong long previous to that. So this will give you a bit of an indication on whether it's been mildly long, mildly weak, or strongly weak kind of thing, and then the history, and it ticks through like a chart. So this is the very latest. This is the current bar, and it will tick across like that. If you do want to see the numbers, I can supply them as well. But let me know if you're using the pair bias, what you would like to see here as well. But this is the best we can do for the moment. We could actually have a week's worth of historical data up here, generated by the auto generator in the background. The difference between the auto-generated bias and Eusebio's is that Eusebio takes into account sort of the human aspect. Like if this news is coming out, then things are likely to go long because there's a war imminent or something like that. Whereas the auto-generated thing is just looking exactly what's happened now and in the past and doesn't take into account possible news events that are coming out, which helps make Eusebio's a lot more accurate or useful. Okay. Do you want to add anything to that, Eusebio?
No, that's perfect.
Okay.